谁知他身上穿汗衫，左鞋右脚套，哈哈哈哈哈哈哈哈！哦哈哈哈！
Welcome to the Seeds of Cinema. I am your host, Thomas, and this is my clone and co-host, Thomas.
Hi.
Okay. We will be reviewing movies that have been forgotten, swept under the rug, or in many cases, movies that most people want to forget. Honestly, no one has gone out of their way to intentionally make a bad movie. It just cannot be done. Trust us, intentionally making a bad movie is near to impossible. I have yet to either personally know or watch an interview with any director who intended to make their movies unwatchable. What about you?
I actually firmly disagree with that. And there's lots of intentionally bad movies, most of which are completely unwatchable.
Wait, we could be talking about .com for Murder, maybe?
No, I was thinking more about all of those tributes to B movies you see that are...
Yeah, okay.
Or, you know, the outputs of directors like David Decato or Fred Olen Ray or anybody like that, you know.
And then there's Tommy Wiseau.
I think you're going way off script.
No, it's the next. That's Tommy Wiseau skirts this hypothesis. See right there, it says right there in the script. See, I brought it back. So, okay. I'm still not sure if he means it or not, or if he's pulling one of the most elaborate pranks in all history, both on and off screen.
I think he's actually Andy Kaufman.
I thought that was Trump.
Nah. They have the same hair color.
I thought it was Tommy's was black, or dyed black at least.
Well, yeah, and so was Andy's.
Whoa. All right. Anyway, our first review is of Andy Milligan's Seeds of Sin, and our channel is called Seeds of Cinema. Get it? Get it? Get it?
Yes.
We will review every single film of Andy's on this channel and so much more. My clone here has got me hooked into the hate-filled world of Andy Milligan via the Jimmy McDonough book, The Sex, Gore, Neither World of Filmmaker Andy Milligan, the ghastly one, which, yeah, off-screen he was kind of ghastly, and people still made movies with him.
Yes.
Thank you. You're so eloquent. After reading the book, I was fully prepared to see the world through the eyes of Andy Milligan and his Oricon camera, a World War II newsreel camera that had a built-in microphone and no single-lens viewfinder. This means he had to approximate where the actors were going to be in frame. In all his films, up till Guru the Mad Monk, the camera was important to note before watching an Andy film. He used the Andy Cam swirl when he needed to make a cutaway scene. Instead of just cutting away or filming a short insert, he would literally hold the camera in his hands and swirl around the actors, often in the throes of a violent and or sexual moment. Great signature, don't you think?
I agree. It's reminiscent of directors of French New Wave.
And what do you think of French New Wave?
It's like that because it's both crap.
Okay, now on with the Seeds of Sin. Sown in sin, harvested in hate is the tagline. And we're going to show the poster. This is a long-standing theme for just about every Andy Milligan film to follow. The synopsis on the back of the lovely Vinegar Syndrome Blu-ray release tells us that this is a Christmas family reunion gone wrong. Wronger than National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation or Home for the Holidays. Buried secrets are revealed as a mysterious killer begins murdering the perverse family one by one in sadistic ways. The radio in the bathtub is my
I want to know how much I am going to inherit when you die.
I haven't made a will.
Don't you think that's dangerous? Someone might kill you. Then what would you do?
I know what I'm doing. I'm a very shrewd cookie.
What do you mean by that?
Ah, you'll stay awake nights trying to figure that one out.
My personal favorite. That's right. One could say the bathtub scene in Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas was inspired by this scene. If Hunter Thompson was trying to off his sister-in-law to keep the inheritance to himself, instead of placating his attorney friend to kill him as the song White Rabbit, Jefferson Airplane peaks. But you can clearly see the comparison, right?
Yep.
So eloquent. But we're jumping ahead. The story is a relatively basic. Family reunites for a Christmas dinner, and the hilarity ensues. You'll find if you find incest, rape, and murder funny, that is. Do you?
Only on special occasions.
Hilarious. I only wish I had a mom just like Clarice, don't you? Nothing says motherly love like mom saying, "You ruined my life. Now I'm going to ruin yours." Ugh. Maggie Smith was, she was a beautiful woman. Really nice, sweet. Yeah, just Andy put her in all these roles where she just...
Well, that was really a trademark Andy Milligan, as you were saying. He used to put people in roles that were totally the opposite of who they were in real life as part of his...
shtick.
Yes.
Directorial skills, insights, because they work. Because you get like, oh God, I can't think of the tall guy who always played retards. Hal Borsky. Just always played, deformed. He played the Hunchback, right? Mm-hmm. In Torture Dungeon.
Ghastly Ones, Torture Dungeon, pretty much all of his movies.
Oh, and in Monstrosity. He played, hey, I'm a monster, I'm a golem. But when you hear him speak in an interview, he sounds very much, he has the same accent as, God, what's his name? William Buckley. Mm-hmm. Which, and then, I think Andy did this just also out of spite. But that's Andy. I don't know, because... I never met him, so only met him through his movies. Let me see the clip. Joan Crawford, eat your heart out. She kind of repeats they won't get any money when she dines at the dinner table quite a few times. Oh yeah, and watch for the trademark bouquet of Andy Milligan's arranged roses. Which is really funny because you can watch everybody having to peer over past the roses, which takes up, I think, 2/3 of the table. Anyway, then there's the dinner scene. Watching Andy's portrayal of the all-American family makes you appreciate your family, doesn't it? Doesn't he?
Absolutely.
Because you have pretty awesome parents.
Totally true.
makes you appreciate his family. And it is important to note that when you watch the rest of Andy's movies, and you will admit it, now that you have the craving for the shrine to hate, there's always a huge bouquet of roses. In this scene, it kind of covers up the fact that there's no real food on the table, but hey, that's a good filmmaking trick. It almost covers up all the actors' faces, too. Don't you love how everyone has to peek past the roses to see each other's faces? Gotta love.
Sit down. You look like a bunch of fools standing there.
Please, Mother, don't be harsh. It's been a long time.
Should have been longer. I might as well make it clear right here and now. I didn't invite any of you. Don't get your hopes up. Carol, I guess thought she was doing me a favor when she asked you to come here. If there's anyone sitting at this table I'd give 2 cents for. Well, it's not entirely your fault. It's mostly mine. I spoiled you all when you were children. I spoiled you rotten. The good book says, ye shall reap as ye shall sow. Well, look at the lot of you. You're a bunch of bad seeds. Well, you've ruined my life. And enjoy dinner.
That Oricon came.
Go ahead and eat.
You'd think that with the pronouncement that the kids won't get an inheritance, that there would be no incentive to murder other family members at all, especially Mom, since killing her would get you in prison with no money to bail you out afterwards. But no, the killing spree begins. Rarity saw the first murder in the bathtub, but we should talk about the sex. After all, Andy was hired to deliver a sexploitation film, and I want you to touch on that.
All right, so Seeds of Sin is one of the few Andy Milligan movies to survive, primarily because he did not produce it for William Mishkin, unlike pretty much the rest of his lost sexploitation movies. Instead, he produced it for a man named Alan Bazzini, who gave him $7,000, of which he spent the entirety of, as well as a bunch more money. And the final budget came out to $12,500. Not very much for a regular movie, but quite a large amount for an Andy Milligan movie, especially at this point. Now, he released the movie in 1968 to lukewarm reviews, mainly people saying that the sex in it was not sexy enough. They were almost undoubtedly correct, because this is an Andy Milligan movie, and he was capable of making sex about as unsexy as you can possibly imagine. To compensate for this, a bunch of new scenes featuring faceless, writhing extras were shot to feature actual sexual content in a way that would be considered erotic by normal people. Unfortunately, they cut out an equal amount of movie to insert these in, so the version that survived for many years was mostly complete. Just when the plot would seem to develop in an interesting new way, it would cut away for 5 or so minutes of people having an orgy scene with an endlessly catchy surf rock soundtrack playing on the background. Luckily, Vinegar Syndrome discovered a complete print and released it in 2017. And that's what we are reviewing right now.
Okay, let's get back to the murder, shall we? Insert the brother strangling her. The bodies are piling up in Andy's house. Yes, this film, almost all of Andy's films were shot in Andy's house. You'll recognize the wallpaper in all his following films on the staircase. Anyway, let's take a break from those nasty murders and cheer ourselves up with a suicide. Nothing says, cheering up with a suicide after a bunch of murders, right?
Yep.
Now, what would good murder mystery be without a delicious serving of lovely fish, the red herring? And let's insert the scene of the butler and the maid conspiring and gossiping. I know you're thinking to yourself, this time the butler really does do it, right? I mean, that cliche has to pay off sometime. I mean, Dan Manning couldn't go around the house with their tiny hallways being wheelchair bound on the 2nd floor, right? Right? Wink, wink. No one else in the house has any motivation to kill anyone else. At least no economic incentive. But keeping a brother and sister sex act secret might be motivation. This is even before Game of Thrones. Sure, the acting and dialogue is over the top, but that's exactly how Andy saw the world. And that's why we love Andy. Or at least I do. Why do you love Andy?
I don't love Andy.
谁知他身上穿汗衫，左鞋右脚套，哈哈哈哈哈哈哈哈，哦哦哈哈哈。